Gauteng Roads and Transport Department is hosting a provincial scholar transport stakeholder discussion in Johannesburg. The meeting, led by MEC Kedibone Diale-Tlabela, is focusing on key issues including operational challenges that are faced by operators. Officials say the engagement aims to improve safety and reliability, especially following the Vanderbijl Park tragic accident, which claimed the lives of 14 children. Newzroom Africa's Katlego is at the Johannesburg City Hall for us and has more details. So, Katlego, I believe what was meant to be a stakeholder engagement has now disintegrated into something that now has resulted in a halting of those discussions taking place. What happened?
Certainly, Gauteng, in what was supposed to be some robust discussions between the scholar transport operators as well as the department has really caused some friction, and what actually happened was that there were more operators than expected who arrived, and the venue here being smaller to accommodate those who had actually come to take part in the discussions. Now, outside, a number of operators were not able to come into the venue because of just a lack of space, and then MEC had to really negotiate with the operators in order to find out what is the best way forward in order to have these discussions to make sure that they're inclusive of everyone. But to get more, I do have with me the MEC. MEC, just tell us what happened now in terms of yourselves and the operators. What is the solution going forward now that the meeting has been postponed?
We are very happy that there's a quest to want to comply. We actually, when we arranged this venue, this is a 1,000-seater. We used the base, we chose this venue on the basis of what has been happening in the past months, that there has been lack of interest of coming to apply and asking us questions as a department. So we chose a 1,000-seater, believing that we'll have far less numbers. But we are very excited that there's an interest to comply. And we have reached an agreement with them that we'll go to a bigger venue and try to get the venue next week. This is Gauteng. It's quite difficult to get a bigger venue. But there's also a point to note. We had attracted people from Mpumalanga, people from Limpopo. We had some coming from the west, as far as from the Western Cape, because everybody wants to ensure that they are compliant. And we publicized this, unfortunately, on different national platforms, and we attracted other provinces. We're excited. We'll talk to our colleagues through the minister that I think all of us should do these engagements for everybody to understand what needs, how do they comply to be scholar transport operators. But we're going to also try our best to go to regions during the week, just to meet them in different groupings as they have organized themselves in different groupings. We are very excited. These mothers and fathers really want to be compliant. We are here to help them as Department of Roads and Transport in Gauteng to ensure that they are compliant. Our colleagues in education, we also have requested them to request principals to give them the letters, the endorsement letters that the law says they must have for them to be categorized as scholar transport operators. So we said to them now, what is of immediate, because it's an interest, or how do they operate? They have a responsibility from tonight to go and do contracts with parents, so that parents sign that indemnity that they are giving them a responsibility to drive their children to school. Secondly, they must get the endorsement letters from the SGBs or from the principals of the schools where they deliver the children. The third point is to ensure that their vehicles are roadworthy. Here we are not compromising. The vehicle must be roadworthy, and they know a roadworthy vehicle. To roadworthy your vehicle does not even take an hour. You go to a testing center, they do a roadworthy test for you. They give you a certificate immediately after. We already have spoken with private VTSs in Gauteng to also reduce the price, negotiated for them also, because we are trying our best as government to meet them halfway. So they must go to the private VTSs around Gauteng to roadworthy their vehicles. It doesn't take an hour to have that roadworthy certificate. It's then that I can sit down with them and say, this is the amnesty we're giving you. Already, we have issued about 500 plus operating licenses to those who have applied from last year and are compliant. In our system, there's 1,009 that are still, we're waiting for municipalities to concur for them to submit tax clearance and other things that they need to submit. So we are helping them. Today, we had some of the operating licenses. So we are saying to those who are compliant, who have applied, who we have called, SMS to say your operating license is ready, no police officer will stop you. The police in Gauteng, our GTI office, have the details of who has applied and has not gotten approval, how far is the application. They have that detail. The systems are now working. Remember, we said we are automating. And they know who has an operating license. So we are saying those who have not started applying, go to our offices. In Kagiso, it's at Kagiso Drive and Musi Drive. We have an office there, a toll lab there. They must go there. That's the West Rand people. Those who are in Johannesburg, come to 45 Commissioner. That's where you get service. Those who are in Ekurhuleni, you get service at number 1 Hardak Street in Jamestown. That's your toll lab where you must go. Do application. Ask any question. They are going to answer you and help you finalize your application. And then there's a booking one, Citibank people, they come to 45 Commissioner because they've never had a toll lab. We're building it now. We're far advanced with the project there. They also come to 45 Commissioner. That's why you want to go to corner Lilengoyi and Pretoria Street at ABSA building. That's where the toll lab is. It's said that we only had, since the Val accident, we only have 600 people who came to ask questions. They came as a group also. Asked questions, we gave them, answered them and gave them forms. But out of that 600, only 54 brought back the forms. And that's why we didn't plan for a bigger thing, because we thought maybe they are still not decided. But it shows that they have decided they want to be compliant. We're excited about that. We're going to assist them. We will be going into regions. The team of transport will go meet with them at the regional space. We will also have a broader provincial. We started yesterday to go to Hammanskraal. They organized for themselves. They called us. We gave them information. So those are the things we're dealing with.
Absolutely. MEC, sorry to interrupt you, but you spoke about the national interest now in making sure that if other provinces are coming in, does this not maybe speak to having a national mobilization in educating our scholar transport operators?
The challenge with being in Gauteng is that when you speak to Gauteng communities, you're speaking to the whole country. And I think my colleagues in other provinces have been doing their best. We have seen the minister day or two ago. She was in the Northwest working with MEC vessels there. Minister is continuing to work with all of us through the road safety campaign. Remember, as under the leadership of Minister Barbara Chris, we had categorized the first term of 2026 as on road safety to focus on scholar transport. So there is that focus. It's just that, Tina, here we thought it's important because when we go on the ground, we realize that people do not have information. And that's why we called the stakeholder engagement. And unfortunately, through our national social media platforms, people see and people come. So we attracted those who are bordering, who we share the border with, as far as Western Cape. And you can't say, don't come. They were calling the teams yesterday, and the teams asked me, what do we do? I said, advise them to go to their pre-offices, but then they insisted on coming, and we allowed that. Unfortunately, then we attracted this about 3,000 plus people coming to wanting to know. So it's not only Gauteng people that came, it's national, and we'll raise it with the minister to say, through the minister, we request our colleagues to do the engagements for their provinces.
MEC, quite an emotive day in terms of if one considers the accident in Vanderbijl Park, operators looking to make sure that they are abiding by the law. So obviously they come with a sense of perhaps they're being targeted now if they don't comply. There's nitpicking now since that accident, and obviously they want to be on the right side of the law. How do you respond to that? It's an emotive one because we lost lives. We lost 14 children on the roads. But how do we make sure that the communication is heard and it gets to where it needs to go to?
The 1,538 application we got them because last year we started engagements. Actually, last year, if you check, we didn't do any oversight on the ground with law enforcement. And if you followed us throughout the festive season, we were saying we are coming to focus on scholar transport. In January, check our Facebook pages. We said to them, ensure you are compliant. And these are the things that make sure that you are compliant. And that's why today we are able to say there's permits we've issued. We don't have a backlog problem. We have a problem of people who do not have information on what do I do to be a scholar transporter. People believe you can just wake up, take any car and go on the road and be a scholar transport operator. So that's the challenge. Since December, as Gauteng Roads and Transport, we've been saying to scholar transport operators, please make sure you are compliant, we are coming for you. Unfortunately, what happened in Val happened while we were still working. We were working, we've got reports on what we have been doing on the ground. We are happy that police now in different municipalities and traffic officers everywhere caught a wake-up call that we've been raising throughout December as roads and transport to say they need to pull their socks as law enforcement agencies and do their work and help us on road safety. That's our campaign, a 365 days campaign. We are happy that it's now ramped up. Everybody is aware, because when we started, people thought we were joking in December. I mean, a lot of them didn't even care about the message we told them as roads and transport, that scholar transport, make sure that you are compliant. But we are happy. We are happy, we must say, we give it to them. We are confident we are going to work closely with them to help them be compliant.
MEC, thank you very much for your time. So there you've heard it, Katleho, from the MEC, just explaining the importance of compliance, and that they really had a number of people come out here more than they expected, and saying that they actually extended beyond Gauteng. So certainly the department looking to have a bigger venue. I've heard possibly next week Sunday, but that is yet to be confirmed. And the MEC conveying that message that they will be working hand in hand with operators to make sure that they all comply with the law.
Scholar transport challenges really run throughout the country, so it's no wonder that many of them turned up at this Gauteng engagement.